fellow modelers, to my latest project. This is a Mack DM 600, and I'm going to try not to give it away what I'm going to be doing with this. You can see that I've added a flatbed to the back, and it's had the frame extended quite a bit. I'm just kind of mocking it up, see what it's going to look like. I think I want to get the transmission, the transaxles mounted up and see how it's going to look. So I think you can see the splice right there. What I did was I purchased a DM600, and I have then purchased a spare frame on eBay, and I added another, whatever that is, about 6 inches. I'll measure it up and post it here. I had to go into, if you look at the main part of the frame up here, I had to go in up into this part to get the length that I wanted. So I had to carve off some of that, and so I added another fish plate underneath there. And I had to add some more cross supports to strengthen it up and to give more to glue to. At the same time, I thought, well, maybe I should strengthen up the frame a little bit, because on a real truck there would probably be more additional support to hold the structure of that frame. And what am I into on this kit so far? So I had to buy the original kit, the DM600, the spare parts frame, and I think there was also a pair of axles in there and some other pieces of the drive. And then I bought this flatbed, which is a Lindbergh Dodge L700 trailer with you know, the cab and the trailer, flatbed trailer. So I wanted to put a flatbed on this. Come on, focus. Why aren't you focusing? Here we go. And I wanted to add, that's I think 24 feet scale. That would be a foot in 1:24 scale. So I spliced together, I have to fix that splice a bit. I spliced it together right there, and you can see it on the underside. I still have a little, there was yeah, these two cross supports are taller than all the other ones, and I think I still need to do a little bit more, but I'm not sure if I'll do that or if I'll just add thickness to these cross supports, make them a little bit thicker, and then I don't have to do any more grinding on that. It A, is very messy, and B, I'm down to the point where I'm afraid I'm going to start getting into the actual body, the flatbed. So I will stop this for now and do a little bit more of my mocking up and mount the suspension. At this point, I hope I'm ready to start painting the frame, the chassis, and the suspension. I've got the front suspension here, and this is the cab support. So let's see if we can get some pieces ready to paint. Welcome back to the Mack DM600 model. I don't know if you can tell, but I made a change since I last videotaped. I shortened it. The body, I thought, was 24 feet long, but doing a little bit of research and just mocking it up like this, it just looked way too long. So I cut a new splice here and took 4 scale feet, which is what, 2 inches, and I have yet to sand that down and straighten it out a little bit. I just wanted to show where I'm at with it and just mocking it up. I've got these I-beam sections here. I'm gonna splice them in on top because I need to, I don't know if you noticed, but this sits right on the tires, so I got to give it a little bit more height. And so that's going to be the next step, is putting the I-beams on. And I also have to get the drive shaft that comes with the DM600 is about that long, so I'm going to have a drive shaft like this. This came off of a Ford Louisville kit that I have, so I'm going to have to run 2 drive shafts to a, I can't remember what this thing is called here, but an intermediate bearing. So you run the long one back to this and a short one. So I don't know where, oops, it would be on a cross member. This would be mounted on a cross member somewhere, and the nearest cross member is right there. So it looks like I'll have to mount it down underneath there someplace, or else usually about that long, the rear one. Yeah, I'll make it work. I think what I'll do is I'll use the original drive shaft, and I'll cut it and splice in a center section and run it from there to there, and then make a new one to go from the engine back. So that's where we're standing. I just have the cab taped together so that I could do a mock-up of it. Once I get the I-beam down, I've got to do a little more sanding right there where the splice is. I've got to sand that up. But I've got to get this into the paint shop. I've got to get some black paint on this frame. So hopefully soon that'll be all painted black, as well as this. And the deck is going to be stained to look like wood. Oh, look at the light. Sorry about the flashing of the... Don't know if I turn that off it'll help or not. Yeah, there we go. It's a little bit darker, but we don't have the fluorescent light flashing. Okay. Stay tuned. Maybe this will go on to another part of the video. We'll see. And I think can you tell what color I'm going to make the cab? I want to get that painted. Oh, I want to get this done. I'm really looking forward to finishing this model. Anyways, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye. Well, here we are back with the frame all painted up. I have added, as you can see, the fuel tanks and air tanks and the battery boxes. And everything appears to be ready for the engine. At this point, the engine is not painted, but it will be tomorrow. The couple of things I wanted to mention, I haven't put the rims on yet, the tires and wheels, but I wanted to mention a couple things before I do. One thing has to do with the front, I don't know what these are called, the front wheel mounts, is that the way these kits are made, this is the Mack DM600, it's a 2-part suspension here. There's a top and a bottom, and they glue together with a little tiny piece right here, and it was really tight. So what I did was I put a strip of styrene on to give something to glue to. So I did that for both sides. I think, there you go, you can see it on this side because it's white. I think what I probably will have to do before I put the wheels on is I'm going to have to, I don't know if you can see that hole in the back, this rectangular hole, and that mounts in there. I'm going to have to probably take this little strip of styrene off of there. I'll pry it off with a X-Acto knife. So, I don't know if you can see the splice that I made. Where is the splice? I can't see it from this light. There it is right there. There's the splice in the frame. And that side and this side, its crack is a little bit more evident. I'm hoping that when I get the body on there, what do you call it? The bed of the truck on there, that won't show. I have been reluctant to say what I'm going to do with this up to this point, but I think I will say now, this is going to be a pulpwood truck. And it's going to be a dual axle truck. And I have a grapple to put on here. I just realized something. The grapple is going to be in the way of that battery box, is going to be in the way of the grapple. Now that I put that in place, what am I going to do about that? I might have to move this battery box here. That's going to be right in the way of the loader. It slides in right here. So, oh well. I'll figure something out. So I still have to do some more. I think I did all the sanding here for the joint, but I'm going to do some more scribing of the wood planking on there. I haven't obviously done this section, and I want to put some cross lines in here too for the planking, and I'm going to put some more grain detailing in here from where I sanded it. I had to sand these joints, and there's the underside. I think something else I'm going to have to do is fill these holes in the back and sand those. These ones on the side, I don't know what I'm going to do about. Well, there's only two on the side, isn't there? I may fill those, but we'll see. I'm going to have to drill holes down both sides anyways for the vertical log bunks. Here's one I just mocked up to see how it might look. I think what I probably will do is, rather than have a U-shaped piece like that, I will probably drill into the bed for the two side pieces, and I think I'll put a piece of timber or a piece of strip plastic across there, strip wood across there, for the logs to rest on. So that's the latest update. I will undoubtedly make another update in a couple hours, few hours, maybe tomorrow. See you later for now. Thanks for watching. And I just remembered something else I was going to mention earlier. One of the things I noticed about this kit, this is the AMT DM 600 kit, is that these rims and tires, I don't know how to say this, they're not made for each other. The tires are just a little bit too big for the rims, or the rims are just a little bit too small for the tires. So what happens is that the tires are very loose on the rims, and you can actually push the rim right through the tire. So what I did was I used some contact cement, some goop, as I put the rims together. I put a little bit on the edges of the rim and slid it in there, and I think you can probably see there's a little bit of glossiness around the rim, around the edge of the tire, right in there. And that's the goop that I put in there. There's some right there. This one here, I tried contact cement. It's Walther's Goo, and you can see that is not clear and leaves a little orange mark, so I'm not going to do that again. So that's one of the things I've learned about this kit. If I hadn't put some contact cement on here, these tires and rims would have been loose. It's really a bad fit.